wasn't showing. Okay, we are on record. Wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today for this awesome talk on NingXia Red. I'm sure you've seen all the hype around it and you're wondering what it's all about. So don't worry, we are here for you to let you know what it's all about. I have Serena on the call with me, and she's also going to jump in a minute. And yeah, so I am Annalie James from Q&A Living, and I'm so glad you could join us today. It's Friday, the 24th of July, 2020. Okay, so I'm just going to jump straight in, no fluff. Did you know that there is a place where 400% more people of age 100 plus live without canes to get around or glasses to help them see, and where they're overall really, really healthy? Yep, there's a place like that. That place is the NingXia region in China, where the superfood NingXia wolf berries originated. So the locals have been eating these berries for thousands of years, and we're lucky enough to get to use them in our NingXia Red products, because the founder of Young Living, Gary Young, built a really good relationship with the people there and realized the value of it. So this beautiful region is high up in the mountains, and they have this gorgeous river that comes running down from the mountain, and that river is what's key here, because that's what mineralizes the ground. So that's why it's so unique to that area, okay? And that's why it's really only grown in this province, because of the insane quality of the soil there, okay? So how those minerals impact it is from, you know, all that runoff coming from the mountain and down the river. So you might be familiar with goji berries. So wolfberries are pretty much the same thing. The wolfberries are from China, and goji berries are from India. So very, very similar, just from a different region. So the NingXia wolfberry has been sought after for a very long time because of its rich nutritional content. With documented use dating back to the Ming Dynasty, that's a long time ago. It's one of the earliest known superfruits utilized in ancient Chinese health practices. So residents of the NingXia region of northern China, where the wolfberry grows, have specifically enjoyed the astonishing wellness properties and benefits of the wolfberry that grows in this area. But because of the NingXia region's physical and political isolation, knowledge of this amazing superfruit was relatively hidden from Western culture until recently. So NingXia Red is also formulated with a dynamic blend of blueberry, plum, sweet cherry, aronia, pomegranate juices, plus grapeseed extract, vanilla, and stevia, which help give it its vibrant taste and color. And what really sets it apart, this NingXia, this stuff right here. There you go, I'll show mine because Serena couldn't help but drink hers. So what really sets it apart is it's also got a blend of orange, tangerine, lemon, and the very rare yuzu essential oils in it. So these oils add their own array of health benefits, such as supporting healthy digestion, and it also contributes to the NingXia Red's delicious flavor. It's really like, I really like the flavor, I'm just saying. So much so that I'll take a sip right now. So this is really great for everyone in your family. Literally, my daughter wakes up in the morning and she goes, okay, I'm gonna make my usual morning snack. And inevitably, the first thing she grabs from the fridge is her NingXia sachet. So it's extremely beneficial for children of all ages and for pets. Like, a lot of people give this to their pets. I have it all the time. I'm almost 38 weeks pregnant, and this forms part of my everyday life. But we'll get into that a bit later. So just be aware that wolfberries and their juices can thin the blood. So if you're on blood thinning medication, just make sure you're consistent with your use of it, and check in with your doctor, so that you can make sure that you balance that really well. So pregnant and lactating women can also choose to use a supplement throughout their terms. Like I said, that's currently what I'm doing, and I don't intend on stopping. So our bodies really work as a system. So you can think of your body like a car, for example. If you have a wheel that's not attached to the car, it's not really going to function very well, is it? You could probably start the engine, but you probably can't turn and take the corner. So our bodies work in much the same way. So when we look at our health, we need to look at an overall holistic view of it. We don't want to fix just one thing because, you know, that's not going to solve the whole issue. Okay. So sometimes we forget that if we want true wellness, we have to look at the body as a whole. And a lot of it actually starts in your gut. A lot of your outside and how you feel starts in the gut. 80% of your immunity sits in there. So if you look around these days, you can see that there's a lot of chronic diseases going around, a lot of lifestyle diseases going around, like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, cardiovascular disease, cancer, all those sort of things, and a lot of autoimmune disorders. And they're all linked with chronic inflammation. And this chronic inflammation is extremely damaging to your body. And it's one of those horrible silent killers that kind of creep up on you because you don't realize that it's there a lot of the time. So that's where we see the role of antioxidants being so important. Now, before Serena gets into some of the information about the nutrition side of it, I just wanted to let you know a little bit about something that we are very proud of that is called the Seed to Seal Promise. Every product, you'll see it on the box that this comes in, but every one of the products that comes from Young Living, because NingXia Red is one of the products from Young Living, is stamped with pride with something called a Seed to Seal stamp. And here's basically what that means in a nutshell. Every farm that is owned by Young Living, because they own all their farms because they're so persnickety about their standards. So every single one of the farms that they own is very, oh gosh, before they even plant the seed, let's just start with that. They test the soil quality, the water quality, making sure there's no runoff from anywhere where it could be contaminated with pesticides and such. They test the air quality because guess what? Plants take in the air. Okay, so they test all these different things along the way. They make sure that all of that is 100% up to standard before they even plant the seed. Okay, a lot of places also do highest possible yield, so they'll do a bunch of pesticides and herbicides and whatever. We're not okay with that. Okay, they don't even comply to the American version of the organic standards because it's not high enough for them. So they don't even want to use that label because Seed to Seal is far above that. Okay, which to me is phenomenal. They also make sure that they hand weed everything, and they've actually come up with some really creative ways as well. Like if there's aphids on the plants, then what they'll do is they'll just get a whole bunch of ladybugs in, and the ladybugs will come and do their job and help get rid of the aphids. It's really cool. So all these different things add up to the Seed to Seal process. They test it internally the entire way through, from the seed to the seal on the product. It's literally 100% what it says on the label. Most people don't know this, but even if an oil, for example, says 100% pure essential oils, organic, whatever you want to see, only 5% of it actually needs to be that thing that it says on the label. So the rest can be a similar type of lab created substance that smells similar or whatever that's added to it. It could be a carrier oil, something like that. So those, I'm talking about oils in that situation, but they can actually get away with that because of lack of regulations when it comes to labeling. So that's just something to be very aware of. With Young Living, they are not okay with that in the least. So they make sure that basically whatever it says on the label is 100% what is in the bottle. None of this 5% nonsense. And like I said, they have outsiders come and test it. They test it internally. They double check everything just to make sure. And only when they're totally happy with that, then they put their stamp of approval on it. Okay, so that's just a little background about Seed to Seal. You can look at seedtoseal.com to look up more information about that because I think it's really important. But yeah, so I'll leave that up to you to take a look at that. But now Serena's going to tell us a bit about what it's made up of. Go ahead, Serena.
Thank you, Annalie. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on a Friday night. And yes, this is NingXia. It's something else. So Annalie was so lovely at sharing the story of NingXia. And for me personally, I've got my mom's an ICU nurse. My dad's a pharmacist assistant and has worked in pharmaceuticals his whole life. So I'm very much interested in the facts, like what makes this really good. And once I learned about this and started using it, I've not gone back. I always need NingXia. When I get to the last layer in my box, I order the next box. And I'm going to tell you all about it now. Yeah, let's actually just get into it. I've got a few slides to share with you as well. And I'm going to attempt a screen share here. So let me see if this will work. Oh, Annalie, can you put a screen share on? Okay, cool. Yeah, this is not going to work. Ah, there you go. Okay, can you see that? Or are you still seeing me?
Still see you, Serena.
Oh, thank you. Let me see. Is that going to work?
Not yet.
Sorry, this is so tricky with the phone.
I think,
okay, no,
there we
fine.
go.
Is that working?
There we go. Something's on, yes. There we go.
There.
There
All
we
right,
go.
so
Perfect.
you should be seeing this ORAC table here. Okay, so when you're talking about antioxidants in particular, so off the top of your head, and you can turn off your, well, go off mute and answer this question, like, what have you heard are great antioxidants? If anyone wants to answer. You can see it here. But for me, I've always been told, yeah, blueberries, right? Like that was the best one. So if you look at this chart here, blueberries have a rating of 2,400, whereas the NingXia berry is over 30,000. Now, why is this significant? Now, we need 5,000 ORAC scale units of bioavailable antioxidants daily as a minimum, just to cope with the average rate of aging that goes on in the cells in our body. All right, so ORAC, the scale stands for oxygen radical absorbance capacity. So it helps your body to absorb the radicals and yeah, so we mostly get this from what we're eating. In addition, many young living oils also are extremely high on the ORAC scale. So these two combined, because there are essential oils in young living, in the NingXia, it's citrus oils. I'll tell you which ones: orange, yuzu, lemon, and tangerine rind oil. So all of those are in NingXia, and it makes it a really, really powerful antioxidant. And a Chinese biochemist at the NingXia Institute of Nutrition analyzed the wolfberry and found it to be one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. So with wolfberry puree being the core ingredient of NingXia, it's pretty powerful stuff. And when you look at what I'm going to go through with you now, which is everything that's actually in here nutritionally, this thing reads like a really fancy multivitamin, only after you drink it, you don't go make neon pee. Okay, like bioavailability is the key thing here. Like your body literally absorbs everything that you're giving it. So I'm going to start off with this. And I'm going to tell you a bit about the different vitamins that are in here. And I'm going to start with vitamin C, because this is the thing that drew me to it initially. So just 100 grams of dried NingXia wolfberries has more than twice the recommended daily allowance of vitamin C, with 3 times the vitamin C of raw oranges. And vitamin C is obviously very important for us because of its immune enhancing properties, and it fuels the white blood cells' ability to attack pathogens in the body. or then going on to vitamin B. This will show up on our, like if you buy multivitamins, it's sometimes listed as thiamine and then B3 as niacin. So these are the two most important ones. And NingXia has 67 times the thiamine of brown rice. It's also the richest known whole food source of natural thiamine. Natural thiamine. So your body knows what to do with it. It absorbs all of it. Thiamine is essential for proper energy production, carbohydrate metabolism, and thyroid function. The NingXia wolfberry also has 100 times the niacin as oat bran and 2 times that of baker's yeast. And then niacin, if you don't know, is particularly good for heart support. Now let's move on to the minerals. It has a really high mineral profile and mineral balance because it's a fruit. So everything is in there in the right proportions. So minerals are obviously as important as vitamins, and they can't be assimilated or utilized by the body without minerals. Okay, so you can have vitamins, but you can't use it if you don't have the right minerals. Also, minerals must be properly balanced, as excess or depletions can cause poor immunity and other health concerns. So both the mineral profile and mineral balance of NingXia wolfberry is pretty much without equal in the plant kingdom. Like, you know, looking at things that you could eat to get these things. And it also has magnesium to calcium ratios at almost 1:1. And also high levels of zinc to copper ratios 2:1, potassium and magnesium ratios 8:1. Now this may surprise you. Protein powerhouse. That's right. I'm telling you that this little sachet of juice is a protein powerhouse. So the NingXia wolfberry is over 5% protein by weight and has 18 amino acids. It's really rich in the amino acids. You'll see these also on packaging listed as L-arginine and L-glutamine. The arginine one helps with reducing blood pressure. And that's one of the reasons my dad is on NingXia every day. It also stimulates the growth hormone and improves circulation. So circulation improvement is something that will help you combat diabetes and also boost immunity. The NingXia wolfberry has more L-arginine than shiitake mushrooms, and they're listed pretty high for this particular amino acid. It's also higher than cottage cheese, barley, yogurt, spinach, or dates, which are all the recommended foods to get this amino acid. Then calcium. So calcium, obviously important for building bones, helping reduce body fat, and it also lowers the risk of some cancers. And then NingXia wolfberries has more calcium than spinach, walnuts, or cottage cheese, and it has 5 times more than cauliflower, which is actually a really high calcium vegetable if you didn't know. Then magnesium. Magnesium reduces the risk of diabetes and cardiovascular disease if you're taking it regularly. And it also treats depression and headaches. Magnesium also is really helpful with sleep, I found. So if you're looking at the sachet with 100 grams of NingXia wolfberries, that's 325% of the recommended daily allowance of magnesium. I just want to see what's in here. It actually doesn't say on the sachet. Okay, so then, yeah, moving on. But as you can see so far, like for the average person, you would take vitamin C, you would take a multivitamin perhaps, and you would take calcium and magnesium, but now all 3 are combined into this one product. Now we're going to look at potassium, and the wolfberry has 4 times the amount of potassium as bananas, and more potassium than dried apricots, sunflower seeds, almonds, or figs. Potassium is probably the single most important mineral to human health and longevity because it's essential for normal electrolyte and pH balance within the cells of the body. So potassium alone, or when combined with magnesium, really produces a significant reduction in systolic and diastolic blood pressure. So that's also why it's so good at supporting blood pressure. Then you've got chromium and zinc in this. So chromium is part of the glucose tolerance factor. So that means it enhances insulin sensitivity. So it makes it easier for glucose to enter the cells of the body. the NingXia wolfberry has 65% of the recommended daily allowance for chromium. And zinc also plays an essential role in the human immune system. So zinc, what it does, it aids the immune system with its first line of defense by helping with the production of like the natural killer cells and enhancing the pathogen killing activity of macrophages, which is a type of white blood cell. NingXia, I think it has more zinc than turkey, wild rice, eggs, lima beans, or asparagus. And these are the things that you would typically look up if you're looking for foods that you could eat to give you those vitamins and minerals. Now, moving on to fiber. So fiber. Now, what Annalie was saying about the fact that they're using the whole plant, this really contributes to this. And it has one of the highest percentages of fiber of any whole food. It's over 21% fiber by weight, and it has more fiber than oat bran and double the fiber of buckwheat. And we all know a high intake of fiber is directly correlated with lower risk of cancer, better control of blood sugar levels, lower risk of heart disease, better digestion and bowel movements, lower blood pressure, and also improved cardiovascular health. So then beyond the vitamins, you're looking at minerals and other amino acids, phytonutrients. The NingXia wolfberry is more than just a virtual vitamin capsule in the form of a fruit as well, like a little juice. It also contains unique phytonutrients that have been shown to protect the liver, eyes, heart, and cellular DNA from age-related deterioration and disease. Okay, so this is also a big part when I was doing my research of why I chose to give this to my folks in particular, because I mean it's never too late to start working on your health in like a real way. It also has polysaccharides. Now, this contains a unique protein sugar complex known as lysium polysaccharide. There are documented studies that have proven that this particular polysaccharide has cardioprotective and anti-cancerous properties. Also, there are other studies showing that it has immune stimulating properties. And it's also another thing shown to lower blood sugar levels and protect the pancreas in particular. And so the wolfberry has the highest content of this particular polysaccharide of any other food, okay, that has been researched so far. Then carotenoids. It contains a broad spectrum of carotene-like substances known as carotenoids, such as zeaxanthin, not that these names matter, lutein and beta-cryptoxanthin. So these have been shown to protect against skin cancer, also protects the eyes against such disease as age-related macular degeneration, and just for general eye health. So we actually had a story where someone was using NingXia long-term, and the prescription of their glasses wasn't working anymore. They did not think that these would have anything to do with each other. And then they went to get their eyes tested, and they needed a lighter prescription. Their eyes hadn't gotten worse, their eyes had gotten better. And later on, we had a NingXia class, like I think a month back, and they said, you know, I've been taking the NingXia for 2 months now, and I'm really wondering if this is the reason why. So it's really fascinating. I would love to be able to improve my eye health as well. And then now I've gone I've lost my train of thought. What was I telling you? Oh yeah, and then the other carotenoid, that one's been shown to inhibit cancer and stimulate bone growth, and it's also linked to an 80% reduced incidence of glaucoma in one Harvard study that we found. Okay, so NingXia Red, it's more than just an antioxidant, as you can see. It's a lot more. And there's a lot more information out there, but I hope this gives you an idea of like just how much it can do for you. It's really changed our lives. And I'm not as creative as Annalie with using it, because literally I take one sachet like this, I split it into 3. I put in the oils that I want, usually lemongrass for me, orange maybe for my husband. My son just likes it plain. And that's how we take it every day. And I haven't felt the need to use any other vitamin or like supplement. Also, we do have a healthy, balanced diet, which does include cake. Very important to include cake. And not really doing anything too special, but I'm definitely feeling the difference. And one more thing I want to mention that got me hooked. I got to say, I started this with all my folks, and then I learned that I could use this to help combat symptoms of anemia. And not just combat the symptoms, but there are cases where people have gone for their blood test and there's no sign of the anemia anymore. So literally curing yourself. If you are an anemia sufferer, you understand the struggle, the brain fog, the fatigue. It's awful. And there's something that there's no quick fix to make you feel better. And if you've ever taken iron supplements, it doesn't like your gut. Okay, it just doesn't. So this is a much better option. I'm really enjoying this. And if you do have questions, because I know I shared a lot of information there, if you do have questions, just let us know, and I can even send you this info. And I really hope that helped, and I'm going to hand back to Annalie.
Thanks for that, Serena. I actually, you just made me think now, because during my pregnancy with my daughter, I had to have my prescription changed. And I know that's a common thing in pregnancy. And this time around, I haven't needed it at all. Like, my eyes have been perfect. Like, that's when I stopped wearing contact lenses because my eyes were so badly affected. And now I'm like, oh, I'm good. Although I haven't tried the contact lenses again. Yeah, so I love that information. Look, I think in a nutshell, I'd like to just say, when people are like, but why are you going to have this? Obviously, all those things that Serena just said, it's amazing. It's got all those health benefits. But what I love hearing about is some testimonies as well. And I know of so many people who have said, I always have to start my morning off with so much coffee because, like, how am I going to get through the day? Or, it gets to that 3 p.m. slump in the afternoons and you're just like, how am I supposed to make it through the rest of this day? And the amount of people who've actually given up coffee and swapped it for NingXia, it's been mind-blowing. Or, they'll just have coffee when they like the taste of it rather than for the necessity of it. So for adults, it's really great for that boost of energy when you're looking for it, that little pick-me-up when you need it. I start my morning off every single morning. I have a glass of water with a couple oils in it, and then I will put my NingXia into that cup, and then I add in a few of my favorite oils. If you're not sure which ones are safe for consumption, you can check out the Young Living US site at their Vitality line of what they have approved as safe for consumption by the FDA. But so what we have done is we like to make popsicles with it as well. My daughter loves having NingXia popsicles, and we're also going to make some gummies really soon. So like little gummy, like vitamin type things. But before I tell you about the popsicles, I have to just tell you a little bit about what it did for our family. So for 5 years, we were attempting to have another child, and had 2 miscarriages. The doctors basically told us, oh, Shane, you can keep trying, but it's probably not going to happen. And we tried a whole bunch of different things. And anyway, with the help of some really cool oily protocols and a couple lifestyle changes, we also added in a lot of NingXia. We happened to go on holiday and we had NingXia sent to us there. And we had it every single day. And I didn't realize how much I'd ordered for the time that we were there. So we basically like put it in our granola in the mornings and we drank it all through the day and all sorts. And anyway, shortly after this whole trip is when this little thing came about, or not so little now, because like I said, I'm about 2 weeks away from popping. But so that was a really big thing for us, because we realized we had so much more energy. We were not feeling that slump. We were just feeling amazing. And traveling, we usually end up with something that you pick up, right? You pick up something on the plane, on the airport, whatever. Okay, this was last year when we were allowed to travel. But we didn't get any of that after our travels. And so, I mean, that's just one of the ways that we had supported our systems was with including NingXia. Also, in my pregnancy with my oldest daughter, who's now 8.5 years old, I remember I was working, I had to get up at 6, and by 9 a.m., I had to go for a nap because I was exhausted. Seriously. I think this entire pregnancy, I've had to nap twice or 3 times, maybe 3 times. And like, I think 2 of those I didn't actually nap. I just went and laid out and I was good. I've had a heck of a lot more energy. And it's just been it's such a huge difference having a healthier pregnancy and being healthier in it. And part of that has been including NingXia. So the last thing I'm going to mention is with my daughter, my oldest daughter, who, like I said, is 8.5. She, as I said, gets up every morning and says, usual morning snack time. And because we usually do like brunch and dinner and whatever. So she has this morning snack, breakfast, whatever. But it's always got NingXia. Sometimes she'll just put, she'll just rip off the top because it's, you can just pull the tab like that, and she'll put a straw in it and just drink it straight out like that. Or she'll just drink it like that, or she'll put it on something, on granola or whatever. So at one stage, okay, so we've been using this, and she's also got some processing issues that can cause difficulties with her speech. And we've been using also another oily protocol, like different rollers and sensors she's been using along with NingXia as well. And then at one stage, we ran out of NingXia and it was out of stock. And let me just tell you, I now have 4 boxes in my fridge because we can't have that happen again, because we had noticed such a huge change in her speech. Like she took about a minute to say 1 sentence at one point. It was so frustrating for everyone, and strangers aren't kind. So when we found, we hadn't put together the NingXia with it. We thought it was just the oil combination that we were using with her. But then when we ran out of NingXia, we realized that had also been a huge contributing factor, because it had gone so far back. She probably had about an 80% improvement before, and she went almost straight back down to like 1 sentence a minute. So now maybe it was like 2 or 3 sentences a minute, but it shouldn't be that much of a struggle. And we could just tell that the frustration was there, and we were just like, when is this NingXia coming? Please, we need it back again. And so now she's been back on it again for, I don't know how long it's been now, maybe another month or something like that. And it's just a huge, huge, huge difference for her. So that's just been a huge blessing in our lives for so many reasons. But now for the important stuff. NingXia popsicles, guys. Oh, it's so good. I know it's winter here in South Africa right now, but these popsicles are still good even for winter. I usually make them in the little Zoku mold, so they're little ones. But what it is I do 2 sachets of NingXia. So just 2 of these, just pop them in a bowl. And then I do about 1.5 cups of coconut milk. You can use whatever milk you want, but I really liked it with the coconut because of the flavor. And then a 1/4 cup you can do orange juice or water. I really liked it with coconut water, actually. Again, nice flavor, and you're getting some goodness in there as well. And then for those that are in the US, make sure you use the Vitality oil for this, but I put a few drops of orange oil in it. So about 4 to 6 drops. And then just mix it all around, freeze it, good to go. It is so delicious. The flavor is like that sort of orange creamsicle kind of flavor, but with the goodness of the NingXia. So it's really, really good. So we really like to make that. I'll let you know how it goes with making the gummies. I'm really excited to try that out. I got some gelatin to do that. So there you go. And so, yeah, anyway, that's all I have to say about that. But I want to, if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop that in there. Sorry, Ilanka has sent me a private message. Could you possibly message me afterwards with regards to that question, if that's okay with you, Ilanka? I think it's Ilanka. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thank you. And then, yeah, so I want to show you, let me see if I can quickly add this in here. Little picture of the NingXia kit. I don't know.
While you're doing that, I got to also tell you, this is really, really good for hair growth and also like for your skin and everything. But since I was using the NingXia long term, then we ran out and I stopped for a while. And I started using them again. And I cut my own hair at the beginning of lockdown, but it was here. And I don't know if you see it against my jacket, it's grown like 5 centimeters. That's nuts. Like my hair never grows that fast. And it's in this period that I've been drinking the most NingXia. So I've noticed that as well. A little bit of like, I've cut my nails all the time now as well. But it's cool because I've never had like such great hair.
That's why my nails are growing.
I'm telling you, have you noticed? Like twice a week sometimes, I swear.
Gosh, wow. So I just uploaded the picture of the NingXia Red kits that they've just very recently brought out with Young Living. And it's really fun because instead of just doing the NingXia, they have added in some oils with it. Okay, so I just want to say that they did temporarily swap out the lavender 5 ml that it's showing on there for orange, which is even better because it's really nice in your NingXia. But so it comes with a 5 ml orange essential oil, a 5 ml lemon essential oil, and a 5 ml peppermint essential oil, and then the entire box of NingXia. With all these little sachets in it, such good stuff. So for all of that, it's valued at 2,230 Rand. But then when you buy it with all of this, it's like totally discounted, and it only comes to about 1,400. Oh, you just shared your screen again. Oh, there you go. Thanks. 1,472 Rand. There you go. She's got the updated picture. And also because it's then valued at 100 PV, which is just like an international currency, like a points value that they assign to it, it automatically allows you to get 24% off all your future orders anytime. And it also gives you an extra free oil, which is really fun. So I really love that. So you're getting 4 oils and all your NingXia. I've still got your screen on there. Okay, there you go. So yeah, so I just wanted to let you know about that. And then what you can do is just reach out to whoever invited you to this call, because they will have a link for you to make sure that you get the initial 24% off with a membership, because it works like that with your 100 PV order. Don't worry, membership doesn't mean anything bad. You don't have to do anything. You're not obligated to anything. It just means you get 24% off. So you're in good hands. Don't worry. It also gives you great resources, a great community that is available to answer any questions that you have. So if you're looking for amazing support for your immune systems, if you're looking for increased focus and energy, don't worry, we're going to hook you up with NingXia and anything else that you might need. I'm going to quickly just copy and paste a couple links into the comment section, into the chat, so that you've got some resources that you can look up after this. So just, I don't know why that one didn't hyperlink, but that'll be some really good info for you to look up afterwards if you would like more info. It's a little summary, a little video, and then also the NingXia Red website. So that should help you quite a bit. Otherwise, just like I said, reach out to whoever invited you here to get you totally hooked up. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we so appreciate you spending your Friday evening with us. We had loads of fun, and feel free to ask any questions afterwards, and we look forward to having you enjoy these benefits in your life as well. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.